Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and we finally get to see a bit more about the Vulpera racial, which I was personally excited about, but by the end of this video, I think some of you guys might be disappointed. But we finally got an update to the Bag of Tricks, which is the racial that Vulpera will be using as their active combat racial. And the update in PTR is weird. It's great if you love collectibles, but if you want a variety, I don't think this is going to be the key. So Blizzard has hinted before that Bag of Tricks is going to be one of those unique racials that will allow you to have different types of racial abilities. When you open up the Bag of Tricks, the text clearly hints that there is other possible racials for you to collect and that you will be able to interchange them within the Bag of Tricks. My first thought when I saw this was, oh, Vulpera are gonna have a different types of racials, as in you're gonna maybe have like a damaging vial and a healing vial. Maybe you'll have a debuff vial that maybe reduces enemies' movement speed, while a helpful vial will increase movement speed of an ally and other variety of effects. At least that's what I thought until recent updates on PTR have come out, as somebody have gotten other racials from the Bag of Tricks. I have no idea how they figured it out, but I guess someone decided to take the Vulpera and just started running a bunch of old school dungeons. And they were able to obtain two different abilities. One of them from Cho'Gall in Bastion of Twilight, which is a Cataclysm raid. The other one came from Ragnaros from the Cataclysm Firelands raid. Now, I have run both of those raids in order to see if I can obtain this racial, but it looks like this racial is not 100% guaranteed chance to drop. I first made a Warlock and went to the Bastion of Twilight to see if I can kill Cho'Gall. And I killed him on normal fairly quickly, but nothing dropped. So at first I thought that maybe you have to upscale the raid to heroic. Then I went and did the Ragnaros kill on Firelands on heroic. Nothing dropped either. So then I hopped on a rogue that I swapped over to Vulpera. Went back to Bastion of Twilight, did that on heroic. Nothing dropped from Cho'Gall. Went back to Firelands on heroic for Ragnaros. Also, nothing dropped. So on the Wowhead article, it seems to be confirmed 100% that this racial does not have a 100% drop rate. Now, if the racial, let's say, did have any kind of combat enhancements, let's say the racial from Rag or racial from Cho'Gall had some sort of a massive, explosive, a much stronger effect, not being 100% drop rate and not obtainable through newer content would of course be an issue. As some players would feel like if you play Vulpera, you would have to grind these raids every single day so that you may gain that 1% damage bonus that comes from your racials and be ahead of other players that also chose to play Vulpera. But taking a look at some of these abilities, it looks like it is simply cosmetic, which I think should be exciting for any of you that are collectors. This means that there are other cosmetic looks for your racials. For example, if you want to be a Vulpera that throws a patch of fire at an enemy instead of a vial of poison, then I guess you could do that. Or if you want to hit an enemy with this shadowy ability, you are more than welcome to do that as well. And it probably does change the type of your racial, as in the damage isn't going to be all nature as it normally would be. It would actually be changed to fire or shadow. So gameplay uses are not going to be massive. The only massive use I could see is, let's say you are attacking, I don't know, let's say you're out in the world PvPing and you see a Worgen Druid on the enemy team. You throw your vial, which you don't have it modified and it's all nature damage, but the Druid does have 1% nature resistance. So I guess it would take 1% less damage from that ability. But if you were to swap your racial to the Flames of Fury one, which is the fire version of your throw effect, then they would take 100% of the damage, not 99% of the damage, which is so minor in terms of the gameplay effect that it really boils down to it's a cosmetic. There is apparently another relic that you can get called the Holy Relic, and apparently that one will also heal an ally, and that'll be replacing the look for the Healing Vial, where a Vulpera normally throws a Healing Vial, then instead they will probably throw some sort of a holy item. But as of right now, no one has found where it drops from. Could be a dungeon, could be a raid, and because these items don't have 100% chance to drop, it's not something we can really test or find out for ourselves on PTR. So what does this mean for the Vulpera racial? Is there any possibility it could have any game-changing effects, or could it all be cosmetic? Well, it seems that any of the racials that drop from older raids are almost guaranteed to be cosmetic. Now, if this is great for anybody who loves collectibles, if you're someone who goes into old raids and dungeons and you like getting different transmogs, maybe different pets, maybe even cosmetic stuff like enchants just for different appearances, then you'll be pretty happy with the Vulpera, as this gives you an extra reason to go back to Firelands or to go back to any of the older raids and collect something you still do not have. So I guess there's this novelty behind the Vulpera, as you can adjust the different throwables that you'll have through your racial. There is a possibility you'll have some very unique, like almost legendary or epic style racials in terms of just the looks and appearances or the different items you throw. And if you're someone who loves secrets and looking for different things, then the secrets community, I'm sure, is going to find out all the different racials the Vulpera could obtain and where to get them and what to farm. But I was somebody who was hoping that the Vulpera racial would have this variety to it, as in you can actually adjust your racial depending on the situation. I mean, the racial itself isn't terrible. An extra heal for an ally for 30k is quite good. And throwing a corrosive vial at an enemy in between globals when you have nothing to press is not a bad ability either. But it's a little bit disappointing still, because I was really hoping to have some massive, in terms of game-changing mechanics for it, in terms of various different buffs that it can provide, if you did have different types of tricks that you could throw at enemies. But Blizzard still could make Bag of Tricks one of those racials that is ever adjusting. They would just need to add it into some of the concurrent content. Like in Shadowlands, if they were to add some sort of a Bag of Trick on a table inside of a dungeon and have it 100% chance, if you rummage through that bag, you get the trick 100% guarantee. And they could adjust these tricks to give you different buffs or different debuffs to apply to enemies. And that way, Vulpera, if you were to play Vulpera, and you wanted to stay competitive in terms of the racial and how much damage or healing or tanking that you do, you would have a 100% guarantee way of obtaining a trick from somewhere in the world and have it actually impact your gameplay. Not saying that that's what they're gonna do. I feel like it's safe to say it is gonna be mostly cosmetic, with a very, very low chance of them changing it and giving you more tricks that do affect gameplay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm a little disappointed about the Vulpera change, but you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you like this, or do you prefer it, or would you rather have had it be a different ability and like an ever-changing racial, which I thought would have been a unique concept? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see all of you in another video.